Hello and welcome to your build-up for Spurs against West Ham United. Kick-off 1 hour and 5 minutes away, which means the team lineups are 5 minutes away. Although we know what it is, well, we think we know what it is, but we'd like to wait for official confirmation. But should it be as suggested, slight change to formation, slight change to lineups, slight change to people who played before who are playing tonight but in a different position. We'll get that in 5 minutes. I'm on relegation watch, or as it's known as, just watching the Leicester Brighton game in the background. Geo Gonzo, how are you?
I'm exhausted. Thank you very much.
Because of work or because of West Ham?
Neither. Well, yeah, sort of. I've bought and sold a pinball machine today, but I had to drive to Norwich to drop off the old one and pick. I've done about 7 hours on the road. I'm not built for it, mate. I'm telling you, I'm not built for it. But there we go. So I might have the matchsticks in my eyes. I've got my tea. I'll probably be switching to coffee at some point.
Then alcohol.
And probably. I was going to say some Valium or something. Well, I won't need it. Well, some morphine probably to take away the pain of the imminent defeat, probably.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the game, though? I had earlier. I had a sort of big match, pre-match optimism for absolutely no reason creeping in, and I hate it.
Somebody said to me earlier, stopped up at a service station, and I checked my phone, and somebody said, "I think we're going to win," and I wasn't embarrassed. I said, why? And he said, I don't know. I said, all right, okay, nothing at all. He said, no. I said, what is it? Just heart roll in your head? He said, no, even my heart tells me we're going to lose. So your heart's telling you you're going to lose, and your head's telling you we're going to lose. Yes. Okay, all right, fair. But you think we're going to win? Yes. Oh, well, do you know what? Fine. That's just called optimism, I think, despite everything that your mind and your heart's telling you. I'm not... in all honesty, I think it's probably done me good, actually, a drive. Even though I talk sport on most of the way, they weren't really talking about West. Mostly Phil Foden. They were talking about. So I didn't hear a lot about West Ham. So I think I've not had the day worrying about it. But if, as we think, the team is going to be, well, you've only thrown 3 names at me, and I'd like to sort of try and get an idea.
Did it scare you? The 3 names I gave you, did it scare you?
Yeah, it did, because I want to see the shape. I want to really know what we're doing before I pass comment on it. But it's a real worry. It doesn't instill any confidence. And if I'm not feeling confident, not that I have anything to do with the team's confidence, but I'm just saying if I'm not feeling confident, how are the team feeling when that team sheet goes in?
Well, Noble and Moyes has told us they're not confident at all. They're expecting to go to the wire. But I don't know. I've got a little bit of optimism. I think there's 2 reasons. Well, 3 actually. A, because it's Spurs. If there's any game we get up for, it is Spurs, right? I know they sort of try and mock us, say, oh, it's your cup final, blah, blah, blah. But we do perform like it is our cup final at times, and so it's something to look forward to. And B, Spurs aren't that great under Jose Mourinho, are they? They've not won in 7. No. If you go back to before the lockdown, they've got 7 games without a win, so they're not exactly on form. I think this game's easier on paper than Wolves. Famous last words and stuff, but I feared Wolves more than I fear Spurs, if that makes sense. I fear Nuno more than I fear Jose Mourinho, believe it or not.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's what I'm clinging to. And C, by the way, my 3rd reason, just because, why not? Because you're not expecting anything, so why not just have a little optimism?
I've got nothing better to do.
Yeah, a little bit of blind faith, perhaps. But when the lineups come out, which should be out in a minute, then we'll get it. It's still currently Leicester 0, Brighton 0. Brighton missed a penalty earlier on as well, which gives us... Do you know what? We did a morning video for the patrons earlier, and I was saying when you're down the bottom, you sometimes get a bit of luck and you sometimes need it. Well, West Ham got a little bit of luck tonight if Brighton don't win this game, and the missed penalty is part of that because they're 5 points ahead of the relegation drop, Brighton. So we need to keep them there. They've got the hardest run of fixtures out of everybody down the bottom. I'm convinced by that. So we need to keep them down there. But anyway, the team lineup should be out in right this second. Oh, don't tell me they're doing this video. Oh no, they've gone with the graphic. They've not done the video.
Oh, good.
That's good.
That's kind of them. Fabianski and goal.
Fabianski and goal. It looks like a back 4. We'll discuss in a second, but it looks like a back 4. Fredericks, okay. Diop, Balbuena and Creswell. Then it looks like 3 in midfield, which is Rice, Souček, Noble, with an attacking 3 of Fornals, Bowen and Antonio. Now, obviously, there could be Declan Rice in the back and 3 at the back and stuff, but I am going to say I'm pretty convinced it's a 4-3-3, and that's how we're lining up. What do you make of that then?
Slow. Just slow. Really slow. basically. It's how are they? I don't understand. I tell you what, there was a real clarity. I thought, all for ironically, when we weren't playing football, there was a real clarity in the message that Moyes was giving out. And now every time I hear him speak, it seems to be muddled. How players are not fit, how they get fit, but coming on a sub doesn't make them fit, and all stuff like this. I mentioned it this morning. I mentioned it in the video, but that was based on yesterday. Since then, he's spoken again. And he seems to have said the same thing again. And I thought, I actually said, maybe I've read something in translation. Maybe I've got this sort of wrong. But he has repeated it. I don't think he knows what to do about these substitutions. I really don't. I don't think he knows.
You can tell he was almost panicking about the subject of subs. It's almost like he knows it's his weak point, and he doesn't really like being pressed on it. When someone pushes him about it, he gets a bit defensive. But the thing I don't get here is why is Bob right? Just for I'll talk about the bench in a second. Ngakia is not on the bench. That's Ngakia done with West Ham. We got confirmed earlier, and Ngakia will not be signing, so he's not featuring at all. He's not in the squad. So we've got Fredericks right back. But why is Balbuena centre back tonight, but not on Saturday? Moyes has just told him on Saturday, unofficially, you're not good enough. I'd rather have Rice out of position and put someone in midfield than have you play. Then he's gone, actually, no, I'm going to put you back in now. I just think he's, in terms of confidence, how can our centre back be confident here? We're changing to the back four. I hate changing defenders at the best of times. Something had to be done after Saturday, but that makes me nervous. I like the shape. The formation. I like the 4-3-3. I do like that. The midfield three, Rice, Souček, Noble. I'm a bit concerned about Noble's fitness, but I'm obviously happy with the other two in there. And then the front three of Bowen, Fornals and Antonio, I'm happy with two of them. And the one I'm not too happy about, believe it or not, is Fornals. I'm a big fan of him. I just think he's too slow for that position. I think when you play one of the front three, it's about pace, it's about getting out the pitch ASAP. I'm not sure he can do that, and that worries me a little bit. But I don't know how to feel about this one actually. The front six, I'm actually okay with the front six. It's the back four I'm a bit nervous, Gonzo.
Well, yeah, and I can understand why. Not that they're particularly going to come at us there. Was it this morning's video in the breakfast that I said about the lack of chances? Was it today this morning?
You said we'll be looking at one shot.
I'm not entirely. I mean, if we have got a chance, if we can shut them out and restrict them to 10 shots, and we can get 5, but I don't think we'll have 5 shots. I can't see how we can have 5 shots. We're about to play a very athletic team. They're strong and they're fast. That's the very definition of athletic. Strong, fast, muscular team. We're not that. We're really not that. I can see us. I don't look at that team and see too many throughout the team who are going to win too many of their one-on-one battles.
No.
Whoever might be marking them, I can't see too many. We might get a little bit. Look, I hope they're going to try and. Look, we got a big guy in there in Souček. Let's hope they can try and somehow utilise his size, his height. Not, I think Mourinho will be that bothered about that because he's got a lot of big guys in his team as well.
In that midfield three, you always have a runner. You always have someone that goes a bit further forward than the other two. And I'm a bit worried it's Noble. It usually is Noble, and I hate it. I hope it's Souček that does the running. Souček's the one that runs up the park. So when we do get a wide, he's joining Antonio in the bench. Them two targets in the box are not bad targets to have to aim for, Antonio and Souček. They both love a header. I noticed on Saturday, actually, I never mentioned this in any video, but what I did notice is our free kicks. We had a plan. It wasn't working though. They were aiming for Souček at the back of the ball. It wasn't back post. It was in the middle of. It was about 10 yards out from the goal line at the back, and he was trying to head it back into the area, but just a couple of yards further forward. It didn't come off. He won these headers, but they were just a bit flimsy. They were getting cleared by the defender. But I just wonder if that's something we've been working on the training ground. So we get a set piece, expect them to aim for Souček at the back of the box, essentially. So just something I picked up on. The bench, Obviously, no Ngaki here, so there's Randolph, Johnson, Ogbonna. Ogbona's now fit enough for the bench, but not fit enough to start. Jack Wilshere, Yarmolenko, Felipe Anderson, Manuel Lanzini, Xonde Silva, and Ajeti is on the bench. Robert Snodgrass, it's all but confirmed that Robert Snodgrass is out for the season. We will not be seeing him again in a West Ham shirt until next season at the earliest. Now the Spurs team, Lloris in goal. They're playing their... Crikey, this is a potentially attacking team. So Lloris is in goal. He's got Aurier, Sanchez, Dyer and Davies, an unchanged back four from what they did against Manchester United. In midfield, I think the One Football app's got this wrong. They're saying it's Sissoko and Ali, but I think it'll be Sissoko and Lo Celso. And then Son, Ali and Lucas playing behind Harry Kane. So Bergwijn, I assume, is on the bench. Yes, he is. Bergwijn's on the bench. But a very attacking team there from Mourinho. He's put Lo Celso in there instead of Winks. He's not playing for Joe Mourinho. He's not.
But he doesn't need to, because it's one of the few times where Mourinho can probably put a team out safe in the knowledge that they're not going to attack him. You know, the opposition, he probably looks like the opposition's not coming. You mentioned that that set play, Souček heading the ball down. That may well be our only plan for scoring. I would wonder if there is actually a plan to score from open play. There may not be. It may just be to sit back.
Something comes off for one of the front three.
Well, that's all well and good, but not when you've got big guys, not against the Mourinho team. I really can't see it. Look, I'm being very pessimistic here.
But I think it's understandable. I don't think it's...
Yeah. I can't see it. I think it tells everything. Somebody said to me, in fact it was Townsend on the forum, was when Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather, and he turned around and he said Floyd Mayweather has not opened up on anyone for years. Basically, Floyd Mayweather's a defensive boxer and actually just let his fists go and just started punching McGregor. And he said he's not opened up on anyone for years. He must have felt sufficiently comfortable to let his hands go. And he was a cautious guy. I look at this and I see the Mourinho in that. I see Mourinho as a cautious, and he must feel suitably comfortable that we're not going to pose any threat to say, do you know what? Go on. Go and attack. He'll probably like doing it as well, to stick two fingers up at Paul Merson, who said Harry Kane couldn't thrive under his tutelage. So, you know what, mate? I don't think we're going to go and see an extravaganza. I don't think we're going to have a nice 90 minutes. We're not going to enjoy ourselves particularly. All we can hope is that we bite all our fingernails off, and at the end of it, we somehow have... You know, we've got a goal, and we win 1-0, and that we're all hailing some tactical master plan. Let's hope that that's the case.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't blame him particularly, not for necessarily going for 0-0, but trying to keep it 0-0 for as long as possible. I like the formation. It's my favourite formation. A 4-3-3 is my favourite formation in this day and age. I think you can counter pretty much any formation the opposition has playing 4-3-3. I think you can get around it, and you also have plenty going forward, whereas other formations you can pick holes in where there's weaknesses and stuff. I do think this is the most solid formation. I think it suits Bowen the most. I expect to see a big performance for Bowen. And Bowen's got to step up tonight. I know it's harsh because he's only just arrived and stuff, but if he wants to be the key man at West Ham, he's just dropped Felipe Anderson. He said to Bowen, I'm going to get him out of the team and move you into your preferred position, your best position. Bowen's got a chance now to shine. I'm hopeful he will, actually. I do think he will. You know, we spoke about how he needs to play off Ali or a big man. I think he'll do all right playing off Antonio if he can get close enough to him. Fornals is now... I think he's got lesser defensive duties tonight on paper. I don't think it will be like that because he's going to have to chase Aurier, and that concerns me a little bit. That area concerns me. But going forward, if we can get Fornals on the ball with Antonio and Bowen running... Fornals has got the ability, and he's also got the vision to pick these players out as well. We're not giving it to someone that takes 4 touches to do a pass. He's happy to take 1 touch and pass it. So going forward, I think we've got something about us. It's getting the ball to those 3 and doing it quickly enough, because I thought the one thing that annoyed me on Saturday against Wolves was I thought we were very slow to get the ball from our defence to get it up front. I thought by the time we'd done it, I thought Wolves were back in formation and organised and saying what you're going to do. I think we just need to be a bit quicker, and if we do get it quicker to these players, they are good players. We do have good players. I'm worried about our defence. I look at that defence, and if I said to you which of those 4 defenders need upgraded for the summer, you would say 3 of them, please. That's a worry. We've now essentially got 3 players not good enough for our first team playing tonight. But if we stay disciplined, There's a chance. They've not won in 7. There's a chance here for us. We've got players on the bench that should be able to change a game if we get the substitutions right and we time it right. Stop laughing.
Well, if we do a substitution before 65 minutes.
Yeah, I'm aware. And also you're relying on getting to the substitution point at 0-0, essentially, which is... I don't know. I don't want to say I'm feeling optimistic defensively. I'm a bit worried, but I do think we're going to create a few chances with that front 3. I do think there's...
Oh, I hope you're right, mate. I really hope
you're right. If we get the ball to them, I don't see why not. They're good players, those 3. If I said that front 3, which would you upgrade next season? You would say, well, I'd have like a new striker, but I'd keep all 3 of them in the squad, certainly. 2 of them
in the squad, I wouldn't. You're right about Fornals. It's not Fornals' position. That's the worry.
But this is where
it continually plays Fornals out of position. This is where continually,
when you do that 3, essentially you just chuck the midfield 3 and Rice is going to sit. But one of Noble and Solchek, one of them is going to be slightly right and one's going to be slightly left. This is where you've got to put Solchek slightly left and say you're going to have to get out there and help him because Aurier's going to come bombing down there. He's just not fast enough. Your job is to keep an eye on Pablo Fornals, essentially. There's no point putting Mark Noble out there and having a slow guy trying to back up a slow guy because that's just a bit silly. And then you become lopsided because when on their side you've got Bowen and Solchek, which is your strong side. The first thing Jose will say, well, keep away from that side, please. Do not let that side get it. Give it to the other one because they're too slow. So I don't know. I'm hopelessly optimistic for some reason now. Optimistic of a draw.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. I just think the pressure's on Spurs tonight. There was quite a bit of pressure on West Ham on Saturday at home to Wolves because of the situation we're in now. But I think it's shifted. No one's expecting us to win. I've seen, Paddy Power. I thought it was funny earlier. Bobby Mazzamora said, "Oh, I don't know where the goals are coming from for West Ham." Paddy Power quoted and said, "Well, the other team usually." And I thought it was funny. But the thing is, we are now the laughing stock of football again. So the pressure's very much off us. And there's nothing more the media would love than Spurs to mess up tonight. The media would love Spurs to get beat. And it'll be Mourinho will be plastered all over the back pages. But there's no crowd there. It just suits both of these managers. These 2 managers should be 2 of the few that perform better with no fans in the ground because you can play a defensive game. It's purely about results. You said we might not enjoy tonight. I don't care about enjoying tonight. I care about getting the result. Even if we just have one shot at goal all night and we come out with it with a 0-0, I'll take it. I don't care how we get that 0-0. I'll take it.
So will everyone, yeah.
But if you were at the ground, it would be a different story. You think, well, I'm paying money and travelling all this way and all that for us to sit in our box for 90 minutes. But you don't have the entertainment factor anymore. It's for people on their sofa at home. It's a completely different game. So I don't know. Can I get your final words, please? You predicted a 2-0 loss as well. I predicted a 2-0 loss. Can I get your final words and if you're sticking with a 2-0 loss?
Yeah, I'll stick with a 2-0 loss. I've seen. It's just whether I upgrade it to something more hefty. I just can't see it. We're going there to shut up shop. If I'm proved otherwise, fair enough. But I worry about Moyes' lack of substitutions. It's lack of desire to make a substitution, and we saw it before we had the lockdown. There are certain games where he doesn't even seem to show any ambition that he wants to win. He targets games, and that is a worry. And if you just target games, you don't get the surprise one. You don't get the victory. Look, funny enough, that we had at Tottenham last season. You don't get that because you just pragmatically say, look, we won't get anything from this. We'll damage limitation, and that worries me. So damage limitation often leads to a defeat.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. At the start of the game, you're thinking, keep it tight. But eventually, on the hour mark, instead of thinking, now we go for it, you're thinking, I've only got half an hour to go. Keep it tight and let's get the point again. Whereas, Wolves are the different one. Keep it tight. Right now, we hit them and we'll go get the extra points. Whereas I think Moyes, you're right. I think on the 60 mark, instead of taking off a midfielder and putting on a striker and going for it, he'd take off a midfielder and put on a defender. Yeah. To see the point out, kind of thing. I'm also going to go with a 2-0 defeat. I'm not going to change. My head still says 2-0. I can almost vision what's going to happen. We're going to keep them out for a while, concede, come out a little bit, concede again, think, right, goal difference, everyone back in the box, and let's just see this out. It's difficult. Anyway, you guys watching, stay on the channel. Me and Gonzo are going to disappear, but Charlie and Young Tom are going to appear on your screen within a minute, and they're going to do a watch-along. So if you don't have Sky, you want to run in commentary of the game, what's happening, they're very interactive with the live chat as well, so you can keep your eyes on that. And me and Gonzo will be back with the review straight after, hopefully celebrating a point, but expectations are quite low, shall we say, Gonzo?
They are. I'll see you in a
See you
little
in the
while.
review. But viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll be live in 2 minutes. Catch you in a bit.